What is up? This is the Working Investor. In this video, we're going to talk about NestYield and their three ETFs that they have: EGGY, EGGS, and EGGQ. We're going to see how they are killing it in total return, and we'll talk about the checkboxes that they have as many smart investors look for in a quality fund. And we'll break down a little bit of the differences between their three funds so you can understand clearly the differences. As always, nothing here is financial, tax, legal, or ag advice, or any sort of advice. This is purely fun entertainment purposes. Let's get cracking into the video. So these three funds launched in the end of last year, and I'll be honest, just like you guys watching my video now, I did not take them very seriously because it looks pretty comical on their website. I thought I was looking at a website of Chick-fil-A for eggs or something, and I was looking for a ketchup logo or a mustard logo. But after watching these funds over the year, I'm pretty much hard-boiled that these funds are really good for me. And I actually own EGGY and EGGS, and I'm looking into EGGQ as one of my holdings. To keep these three things straight in your head, I'm going to give you a special mnemonic, okay? So EGGQ, think about the NASDAQ. So it's basically mostly just growth and very high tech. EGGS, think of safety. This one is supposed to have the most layers of safety because it has the protective put, and it also has a equity position in some defensive items, which we're going to go into a little bit. And then EGGY, think of Y for yield. This one has, if you're looking for the highest dividend yield, this one has the highest dividend yield between the three. So the way they describe EGGQ is large cap, for really growth-focused investor. So they do out-of-the-money call options, and they do call credit spreads, and I believe they also do long calls as well. Not much on the puts. Right now, I didn't see any puts. You can see they all came out around the end of last year, and they all have around the same expense ratio of 95 basis points. So we're going to go ahead and download the holding. So it looks like they have from line 2 to line 18, they have about 17 equity holdings. They look very much heavy in the tech field. As you see, they have Eli Lilly. And I don't see any protective puts if you look at their option strategies right now. So now we're going to look at EGGY. Think of Y for yield. So they call it the dynamic income ETF. They do have a strategic process. I advise you to look at the website and look at the prospectus and read all the risks and everything involved with all the ETFs in general for everything. So they discussed that they utilize cover calls and long puts, aka the collar method, where they protect your downside to an extent if there is a drop in the market. And they have the objective of income generation and growth potential. Looking at the holdings of EGGY, you can see they're very similar to what I see in EGGQ. Now, if you go to the bottom part of the holdings, you could start seeing the option positions. And you can see they have a lot more option strategy overlay on it. And I put into green, they do have, looks like 150 contracts of long puts on the NASDAQ. So that is your downside protection. Finally, going into EGGS, remember we said S is for safety. So this is the NestYield Total Return Guard. You want to guard your total return. So they describe it as aims to capture growth potential in the U.S. large cap equities, provide income while hedging against market downturn. And just glancing over the holdings, you could see they have some, tech in there. And then you could see here they also have Walmart, Welltower, McKesson, Duke Energy, Costco. So they have some more of the defensive consumer staples. And then they have here your put. You have your put on the NASDAQ. It looks like around the same put strike. The 590 put strike expires 10/31/25. Going back to EGGY, you could see that EGGY had also that QQQ put, but they had 150 150 contracts, and that represented about 0.29% of the portfolio. And in contrast to that, if you look at EGGS, instead of 150 contracts, they have 170 contracts, and that represents almost double. Instead of 0.29, it represents 0.55% of the portfolio. Remember, that's not how much the portfolio is protected. That is a contract. That's money they put up for the protective puts that could protect, every put represents 100 shares. I'm not sure if that Excel spreadsheet is updated, the one I just downloaded, because I'm looking at their website and they say that I didn't recall seeing Kroger. Maybe I missed it or something. But I see here, this is as of 10/3/2025. I do see Kroger here. As I showed you in the beginning of the video, that in the up market, they've proven to capture a lot of the upside, even the safest one, EGGS. So in my mind, again, I don't know if that's exactly the case, but in my mind, personally, as a investor, it delivered a better return in the upside in the up market than a lot of the underliers. Anyways, let me know what you guys think about the NestYield. Let me know if you think it has a place in your portfolio. I don't think enough people talk about these funds or what it does, maybe because it doesn't have the extremely high dividend, different dividend yields, like 80% yields of ulti. But from a total return standpoint, it definitely resonates with a lot of intelligent investors that look at the full picture. Anyways, this is the Working Investor over and out. I hope you guys have a wonderful trading week. Be well.